Aegean is the best airline in all of Greece, but is this really true? Well, today I decided to take a flight with them to answer that very question.
Okay, it's finally time to try Aegean's A320 Neo. They are the best airline in Greece, but does their economy class actually reflect that? Well, let's have a look now. And that's what we have, their new seats, unlike last time where we had pretty older airplanes and older seats. So these new seats will be on this 1-year-old A320 Neo. But let's head through security now, and hopefully try and go to a lounge.
So I head straight towards security, which was actually pretty easy and fast to do, and I made it to the other side without any issues.
So that security was okay, got through pretty fast, so I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. But now I'm just going to try and find a lounge. There's a few different ones in this airport, and I'm even going to try the One World Lounge or the Aegean Lounge. Okay, so I'll be honest, I was denied access to all the lounges because the Aegean Lounge you need to be flying either business class or a Star Alliance Gold card, and I couldn't get into the one that BA uses because I was not flying BA and my silver card doesn't work for that. So anyway, I ended up in a restaurant, had a Euros, which was actually really nice. But now I have to head to gate Alpha 12 to board the 1-year-old A320 Neo for today's flight.
So I made my way through the airport and towards my gate, and when I got there I realized our aircraft was here and on time, at least for now. So I got my boarding pass and passport scanned and made my way down the jet bridge and toward my aircraft. So I made my way through the cabin and towards my seat where I was sitting for this flight.
Okay, so here are my thoughts so far. Right at the back of the seat, the butt cushion, the back cushion, and headrest, they're all really comfortable. Now the legroom, pretty terrible to be honest, for being 5'7". I don't think I have maybe an inch and a half of extra space, and I'm pretty sure there was more on the Sky Express ATR. And so my window view, I have 2 windows, which is super nice to see. I also really like the color of these seats, and I'm pretty sure there's also free Wi-Fi on board, but we'll check that out in the air. But one thing I also noticed right now is that the overhead bin space is filled up extremely quickly, and there's not a lot of space for passengers to put their bags in the overhead, especially because a lot of people have put small bags in the overhead lockers, and this flight is supposed to be completely full. So let's hope boarding will wrap up very fast and we can get out of here because we are already late as it is. Yes.
And now it's time to start exploring the seat a bit more. Checking out the seat pouch, I found the safety card, and in the cubby at the top of the seat there was also a magazine. And my favourite part in the magazine was obviously Aegean and Olympics fleet. And now checking out the overhead panel, I found the air conditioning and reading lamp, and the air conditioning in the Greek heat absolutely must work, and thankfully it did. But anyway, it was 21 minutes past 4 and we finally pushed back from the gate to start taxiing. For today's flight, I'm going to be flying from Athens, Greece to London Heathrow. And finally, after reaching the runway, it was time for takeoff. And if you remember earlier about how I said there was free Wi-Fi, well, it turns out there is. All I had to do was scan the QR code on the back of the seat, which brought me to their Wi-Fi portal. And not only was this Wi-Fi, it was actually full entertainment system, with tons of different movies and TV shows, and it's also embarrassing to think that British Airways fails to offer this in business class. And instead of having to mount my phone on the table with a JAL phone stand, they actually have a built-in phone stand, which is super nice because it leaves the whole tray table free. And next to the holder there was a USB port, which is very helpful, but if you are doing this, make sure to bring your own headphones. But now the meal service was soon to begin, so I pulled out the tray table, which was average size, but at least it pulled out, which is great to see. And with a choice between a hamburger and a pasta bake, I went for the pasta. And I have to say, it was actually really good, but unfortunately it was wooden cutlery. And for dessert, they gave us this chocolate bar. But now a few more things I forgot about the seat, because since this is a legacy airline, obviously the seat reclines, and the pitch was actually really decent. But that's when I realized just how dirty things were.
So now that we'll be landing in about an hour, I think I'll go ahead and share my final thoughts. I'll be honest, the seat was very, very comfortable for the entire flight. No part of my body is sore or whatsoever, which is extremely good. But now let's talk about all the amenities on the back of the seat, because this is truly amazing. Well, the device holder is absolutely life-saving, because it means you can use the full amount of your tray table for your food, and speaking of the food, we're going to come back to that later. It's also nice that the phone stand, you mount your phone right at eye level, so you don't have to be leaning up like this or have your head down like this. So it's literally right at eye level for me, which is really nice. The pitch on the recliner is also super good as well. The one thing I will say about the entertainment is the Wi-Fi definitely could be a bit better, but the entertainment selection is incredible. This has a phone stand, and British Airways fails to offer that in business class on their A320 Neos. Even with their new seats, they fail to offer anything like that. And there's also a nice USB charging port, which is conveniently placed right next to it. The one thing you do need to remember is to bring your own headphones, otherwise you really won't be able to watch much entertainment without annoying everyone. And I think a good tip to get 2 windows is to book the even number rows. And if you want a good view on the approach into Heathrow, I suggest you sit on the Foxtrot side, not the Alpha side, which I am sitting on. So the Wi-Fi could definitely be a bit better, but now let's talk about the food. The food was absolutely incredible. There's 2 choices, a chicken burger and a pasta. It was a pasta bake. I'll be honest, the pasta bake was actually really nice. So I was surprised at how good that was, considering for economy class food. Even though the portion was not that big, it was a pretty decent size for this kind of flight, especially considering we're going to be landing around dinner time. So considering there's just about an hour left of this flight now, I'm going to go check out the final thing, and let's see what the rest of the flight is actually like.
And now as this flight came to an end, it was time to check out the lavatory. Making my way inside, things were very small, but at least it was all clean, modern and up to date. But one thing I will say was that the headroom was non-existent. And now finally, it turns out we had began our descent into Heathrow and at last came in for landing.